So I was coaching my client Carla this week, and she has an e-commerce business. She sells internet products, and so she's been doing successful product launches and sales in the 5-figure range, but she's got this new project idea where this could be like a 6-figure, multiple six, maybe even 7-figure digital product that she wants to sell. And she's never done anything this big before, and she's having some hesitancy with diving into it. And so we looked at why she's hesitating to go into this project. And it's like, well, it just, I've never done anything this big before. And every time in the past where I've tried to do something bigger, I've started off with a lot of energy, but then stalled out and ended up giving up on it. And so I always just go back to doing stuff the size that I know. And so I was like, wow, that's interesting. So you don't slow down or procrastinate if you do stuff the size that you know, but you do when it's bigger things that are kind of outside of your expertise or outside of your, shouldn't even say expertise, outside of your experience, right? And if you don't know that you can produce those results through your experience, you don't have the confidence, you end up stalling out. So, okay, but more specific, let's drill down and look at this. How does that actually happen? What actually occurs, Carla, when you're going into this kind of project? So you're going and you're doing things, and what happens? And she says, well, I might start off and I send the first email and we don't get the kind of numbers that we wanted to get, and then I just lose momentum. It's like, oh, interesting. So you don't get the results you wanted to get, and then you slow down. So what's different about that with the stuff that you're normally doing, where you keep going? Well, we get the results we expected to get, so we keep going. I was like, okay, so if it doesn't go the way that you wanted it to go right off the bat, then you slow down. Why? Well, I figure maybe I'm doing something wrong. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, interesting. So when you don't know what you're doing, you slow down. Why? Well, it just means that I'm not good at this. Oh, okay, interesting. So it means you're not good at it because you don't know what you're doing. Well, are you sure? Is that the only way that you could look at it? Well, when you put it that way, I guess sometimes you just don't know what you're doing because you just haven't figured it out yet. Right. So what you're actually doing is, the structure of this is, you're going to do something new, and the moment you don't get the results that you want to get or you hope to get, you're seeing that as meaning that you're not enough. You're actually judging yourself and having yourself feel bad, and that feeling bad in your belly and your gut is what's making you not go back to that work and keep going. Yeah. So Carla, what she actually saw wasn't that she was procrastinating with these bigger projects. It wasn't that they were overwhelming her for their complexity or anything like that. It was that actually when it was bigger, she thought that meant that she wasn't good enough or enough of a person if she didn't understand some aspect of it or wasn't getting the results that she wanted. Because if she didn't get a result that she was expecting in a smaller project, we looked at that too, then that wouldn't really bother her. She wouldn't judge herself. I must have missed something. No big deal. I just got to go look at what was I missing, because I know how to do this. So there's a sense of self-confidence with the other smaller project, smaller, still pretty big. But in that sense, she was still confident, and she wasn't judging herself as not valuable. And this bigger project, she was making it mean something about her, feeling uncomfortable, and that discomfort was why she was procrastinating. And so oftentimes this is what procrastination is. We start a project, we get a lot of energy, and then we slow down. We slow down because we're judging ourselves and our personal value and who we are based on what's happening so far, and that doesn't feel good. We don't want to do this project if it makes us feel like we're not a good person and not enough. And so our procrastination is actually the result of judging ourselves. So we're going through this project and we're like pulling on the parking brake while we're doing it. The parking brake is, I suck. And it's like, that doesn't feel good. And eventually it's like the car will eventually stop. It will burn, the rubber will stink, and then the car will just stop. And so how do we keep going with a project that's bigger than anything we've ever done before? Well, we have to make sure that the results that we get during that work, we don't use to beat ourselves up. And so how do you do that? Well, you just look for, when I'm procrastinating, when I'm holding back, what am I feeling? Am I feeling uncomfortable in my belly? Does this feel like just not feel good? If it doesn't feel good, then how am I doing that? How am I creating that not good feeling? What is the thought that I'm having, the judgment that I'm making about myself, or what am I making this mean that doesn't feel good? And how could I not do that? Well, I've already done it. I've already judged myself as not enough because I didn't get the results the first time on this new project that was much bigger size than I've ever done before. Right? I've already judged myself. So what do I do with a judgment? Well, unjudge. So the way to remove a judgment is to unjudge, which is another judgment. So if a judge, literally in a court, were to judge somebody as guilty, then the person would say, from the jailhouse, I want to make an appeal. And they'd go back to the court, and the judge would listen again, and then the judge could listen to the appeal, and they could judge them as innocent. So you can actually make an appeal to yourself. You can appeal to yourself and say, self, what if it's not true that I suck because I didn't get the results I expected I wanted? And then you, as the judge, could listen to that appeal, and you could be like, okay, you know what? I judge you as okay. I unjudge you. Another word of saying that, I forgive you. I forgive you for judging yourself as not enough because you didn't get the results that you wanted and expected, and there's other people that have been doing it for 30 years are getting. It's okay. I forgive you. I unjudge you. I judge you as innocent. You're not guilty anymore. You're good. You're cool. You're lovable. You're loved. You're perfect just as you are. Get on with your old self. Keep going. And so the way to not procrastinate in a new project that's bigger than anything you've ever done before, if that procrastination is the result of an uncomfortable feeling, is to find the judgment that you're making against yourself that creates that feeling and to unjudge. Bring an appeal to that court of self and say, let me judge you as innocent. You're okay. Unjudge, forgive, and keep going. This is how forgiveness can literally be the only thing you need to keep going in a project. All you have to do is watch for moments you're slowing down, and if you are, what's the judgment? Forgive yourself and keep going. And literally, most of what looks like powerful commitment is just the willingness to forgive anything that gets in the way, right? Self-belief is what it looks like. It actually is just you being uninhibited by thoughts that would make you feel uncomfortable. Because in the beginning, you were just unbridled excitement and joy and energy for this possibility. So it's just thinking about you not being enough that gets in the way. So just watch for it, feel for it, move it out when it shows up, keep going. Don't keep going, push, force, allow the going to keep on. All you have to do is get the thinking out of the way, unjudge it. If this is useful for you and you want to learn more, then join Creating School. You can go to creating.school, read about it, watch a little video with some of my clients talking about it. If you have questions you want to ask me, shoot me a message, comment here, whatever. I'm happy to jump on a short call with you if we need to, as long as I've got time. Right now, my calendar has space in it. But it's a great place for you to learn deeply how to actually practice this and bring it to life. You can actually make more money, have more love and intimacy in your life through actually being free and light and life being easy. I know that sounds paradoxical, but you don't need to push harder and try harder to get more of what you want. Actually, paradoxically, the more you relax and chill out and just allow, the more that stuff can show up. So if that sounds sexy to you, it's sexy to me. Join me. I'd love to help you to access that, to create more of what you want in your life through letting go. And again, my name is John Patrick Morgan, creating.school. I look forward to meeting you there. Bye-bye.